Good afternoon, everyone. So we are going to talk about Chapter 1, Team Sports. Again, I am Leonard John Carrillo, and I will be your teacher for PE4 Team Sports. Okay, let's talk about team sports. A team sport it includes any sport where individuals are organized into two opposing teams which compete to win. Okay, so that is for team sports. So team members act together towards a shared objective. So this objective is to win. Okay. So it's really normal that a team will have a goal to win because the winning in competitions is for them their pride. And also, this can be done in a number of ways, such as outscoring the opposing team. Um, the team members set goals, make decisions, and communicate. So they manage conflicts and solve problems in a supportive, trusting atmosphere in order to accomplish their objectives. So example for games to this are basketball, volleyball, rugby, track and field, water polo, futsal, baseball, softball, handball, and a lot of more games. Okay, let me move there. Hi, chilling. Team sports are practiced between two opposing teams where the players generally interact directly and simultaneously between them to achieve an objective. So this objective often involves teammates facilitating the movement of a ball or similar object in accordance with the set of rules in order to score points. The meaning of team sport has been disputed in recent years. So some types of sports have different objectives or rules that traditional team sports that the traditional team sports don't have. So these types of team sports do not involve teammates facilitating the movement of a ball or similar item in accordance with the set of rules in order to score points. So for example, in swimming, rowing, sailing, and dragon boat racing and track and field, among others, can also be considered team sports, even if you are not using a ball or a racket in order to play it. And also, swimming. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, there you go. In other types of team sports, there may not be an opposing team or point scoring. For example, mountaineering. So those kinds of sports. Instead of points scored against an opposing team, the relative difficulty of the climb or walk is the measure of the achievement. So just like in climbing mountains, so di man na siya pwedeng magkalaban-kalaban. So of course, it's still competition because the level of difficulty will go higher the moment you reach the top. No? So the moment na magkataas mo, the moment na mas magkalisod ang climb. So diha na din ma-determine kung kinsa ang modaog. So instead of points scored against the opposing team, the relative difficulty of the climb or walk is the measure of achievement. And in some sports where participants are entered by a team, they do not only compete against members or other teams, but also against each other for points towards championship standings. So for example, motorsports, particularly Formula One. So in cycling, however, team members will still in the competition with each other, will also work towards assisting one, usually a specialist, member of the team to the highest possible finishing position. So this process is known as team orders, and although obviously accepted, was banned in Formula One between 2002 to 2010 after a controversy involving team orders at the 2010 German Grand Prix. However, the regulation was removed as of 2011 season. So the season in 2011. So that is just an overview. So through the years, the popularity of team sports has continued to grow positively, influencing not just the athletes, but also fans, local and national economies. All over the world, the impact of team sports can be seen as Professional athletes live out their dreams while serving as role models. Youth athletes develop life skills and follow in the footsteps of their role models. Fans bond over the love of their teams while supporting their economies with their support. So one example for this is my friend. So my friend was really a dance sports enthusiast, and um, yung mga idol is mga higher what do you call this one? Higher PE majors. So first year may yung idol is ang mga fourth year na mo. So she was fantasizing herself as someone that can compete against them. But and what happened is that when she tried, of course, ni-aspire man siya to be someone na kanang maayo ang sayo og dance sports. What happened is sa iyahang ka inspired, iyahang napildi ang higher years, and turns out na siya ang dalhon sa national competition, regional and national competition, and until now siya ang for 5 years already sila ang partner siya together with her partner kay champion sa standard. Well, it is very amazing knowing that she was just someone looking up to someone, and turns out she was not really better ang term. She is kanang good at it. And when it comes to fans pod, they help with the economy because of course if you are a fan, butanta lang, dili siya sa sports, butanta sa kanang sa mga sa BTS or sa Blackpink. So ang mahitabo is if you are a fan, of course, mo follow mo sa ila wherever they are, like nagdato ka. So mag-apit ka og mga concert nila, of course, not only will you pay for the ticket, but you're also going to pay for the flight, and of course magkaon magigana sa mga restaurant, and imagine if daghan kaayo mo magingana, di ba? You will help the economy of that specific place. Okay? Let's go with history. Okay, for the history, traces of sprinting as a team sport extended back several thousands of years, as evidenced in images in the cave in Locca in France, which depict people running after animals or vice versa. So this was an issue of survival of the fittest. So at first they didn't know that that it could be a sport, of course, because before they are doing things, kind of practical things in order to survive, like running, hunting, throwing. So of course, di man gid na siya maano no, di man even way before, dili man na to siya matagna kung siya may tabuan na sa iyang kind of activity. And siguro as time passed by, na nila, they thought of doing basic things to become sports. So organized athletics in Greece traditionally date back to 776 BC, with ongoing activity recorded up to 393 BC. So these ancient Olympic Games tested warrior skills and consisted of running, long jump, boxing, wrestling, pancration, combat sport, discus throw, and javelin throw. So as you can see, long jump palang daan. Imagine yourself if you're a native here in the Philippines. Long jump. Mo jump ka from one place to another. Running, nakigukdon mo, bukod baka kagbaboy, para naamang makaon. Boxing, or ba, wrestling. Apotay sa discus throw, of course, dito sa mga tao nga, kanang usog kayo mga labay, ano ba? So just imagine yourself if naapa mo sa una, kung native nyo before. So mo gini mga uso kaning javelin throw, discus throw, which then turned into a sport. Ancient Olympic game tested warrior skills. So ang mga skills sa warrior, muna siya simply as running, long jump, boxing, kana siya ang mga sports. Also, there are 17 sports. Wait. So in the beginning, sports often involve the preparation for war and training as a hunter. All Olympic team sports include competitions for both men and women. And that is why, since preparation man for war and training sa mga hunters, That's why early games involve the throwing of spears, stakes, and rocks, and sparring on one with opponents to help them, of course, gain knowledge and be more experienced doing kanang simple tasks for war, like killing other people, may anak bitaw. So diha palandaan, na-prepare na ang mga tao, uh, na-prepare na sila to fight just by doing sports. Okay, so that is the purpose. So if you want to read more about the history of sports, here is a link, www.thoughtco.com, History of Sports. Okay, you may search that. Next, we have the general classifications of sports. If you have questions about the history, you may comment your question below, or you may add it in your quad section soon. Okay, we have general classifications of sports. Sorry, we have running, jumping, and throwing. So that is for athletics. We also have ball games or ball sports, the basketball and volleyball. There's dagan pa kayo napatay soccer, club and ball sports, golf, the cue sports, billiards, combat sports, taekwondo, karate do, harness. And dance sports, we have standard and Latin discipline, extreme sports. Okay, so balik sa dance sports, no? As you can think, as you can see, no, dance sports, even if it's dance, it is still considered a sport, which is why in intramurals consider siya as a sport because dance sports is actually sport and not just dancing. So natay do ka category for that, the Latin American discipline and standard discipline. For extreme sports, we have BMX, UFC, and motocross. So these are sports na mag-required sa imo nga kung ka hilig ka og mga adventure and hilig ka og adrenaline kayo, mag-need og adrenaline ng mga sports. And mind sports, kaning chess, bantumi, anything na maggamit, manginahanglan og kuan kanang mind atong panghuna-una. And motorsports, although similar sila sa extreme sports, or sa motorsports, we have motocross. Next, we also have racket sports, badminton, table tennis, daghan pa gid kayo. Riding sports, equestrian. We also have shooting and target sports, rifle or gun shooting, water sports, swimming, water polo, and a lot more. So weight sports, weightlifting. So if you can remember, no, si Heidelin Diaz, katong woman na nag-bring home sa bacon dito sa Philippines. We also have the winter sports, figure and ice skating, and lastly, wheel sports for cycling. Okay, so those are the classification of games. So if you want to add more, you may give it in the comment section. You may comment there what you want to add. Wala na ko na mention. So, and also if you have questions, you may ask in the comment section as well or in the quad section. For player composition, let's differentiate the player composition. So for individual sports, of course, common sense na siya nga, individual siya. So one player against an opponent. So 1 versus 1. Muna siya ang meaning sa 1 versus 1. Or for dual sports, so we have duo or pair against 2 players. So 2 versus 2. That is when you can call it dual sports. So, please give me at least 2 examples. Comment na ninyo sa comment section. Give me 2 examples of individual sports that you can think of, and another 2 for dual sports. Please comment it in our comment section. Please give me at least 2 individual sports and at least 2 dual sports. And for team sports, it consists of 3 or more player per team. And also, comment pud mo if please comment at least 2 team sports that you can think of. So, tulo na kabuo, at least 2 individual sports, at least 2 dual sports, and at least two team sports. So I hope you understood that na ang individual is 1 versus 1. For dual sports, 2 versus 2. And for team sports, 3 or more players per team. Okay? So if you have confusion, please ask me. Next, we have the sports level. So in sports level, we have amateur, or also known as the proletarian or the popular sports, consisting 1 or more players acting as ambassadors of a place, competing in a highly organized game. So for example, the ani is ang national games or the ASEAN Games or the Olympics. So normal na siya nung map. Usually ang mapadala dito kay ma-air mo gina sila sa sports news or sa news, any kind of news. And as you can see, di sila mga basta-basta. Oh, that is for the amateur level. For the professional level, example na ani kay silang Pacquiao, kanang mga basketball player nato diri silang, I don't know if apil ba si Richie Rivero kana sila. So professional, popular and a profitable sport, and is elevated for entertainment purposes. So for basketball, daghan kayo ta. For boxing, nata Manny Pacquiao, natay sa golf, and we also have Efren Batares, if you are familiar. Siya ang before. So he is a professional billiard player. Okay? So, if makadumdum mo sa iya, basig mo sa silang history before sunod. Okay, so amateur and professional. Again, amateur are those players that act as ambassadors, while professionals, they are the ones, so they are popular and a profitable sport and is elevated for entertainment purposes. Katuning mga dinagpo ang mga kwarta, mostly for their honor, and ilan na pong kasikat. Okay, pareha sa basketball. I mean, boxing, grabe nakadato si Pacquiao, di ba? Eh, dako kasi lang makwartaan na since it is their job. Job naman guna nila, it's their profession. Okay? Was amateur, maybe it is also their profession, pero mostly ang sa amateur, ito ning mga games wherein they are going to compete for their country, not for themselves. Okay, last, we have the benefits. Of sports or playing team sports. One, we have scholarships. Develop emotional traits and personality, develop mental and physical skills, encourage goal setting, health and fitness benefits, improves academic performance, improve body physique, not boy physique. It should be body physique, pleasure, professional growth, profit, and socialization. So how can you get scholarships? By doing sports, of course. Way back in my college days, I have a lot of classmates that have been given scholarships in a lot of prestigious schools like NU, mga NU, FEU, may anak na schools because of their height, their talent, and their character while playing. So while we are having kanabitang mga regional meet, diha gyud mapakitang gilas gina silang tanan. So unfortunately, wala ko na appeal anak because back when I was still a high school student, I was sabotaged sa labi sa volleyball days. So I was a volleyball player before, and all of us were aiming to be enlisted in the regional meet. So once you get to the regional meet, you can have a lot of opportunities because a lot of school will see your potential. So what happened is, I didn't know it at first, but I then realized that my teammates were trying to sabotage me. They weren't giving me any sets, so I was an open spiker. So all throughout the competition, I wasn't able to spike any. So what happened is that I wasn't given an invitation. No one gave me an invitation, and I wasn't enlisted for the regionals. So the only person that was given the chance to be enlisted and was given the chance to join the regional team was my teammate whom I Then, I then realized no nga, nabalaan man ako nga, nagsabot di sila sa mong satter, yan gisabot ang satter na sa iha-ihatag tanan. Of course, at that time I was very mad, but time heals and I forgave them because, you know, everyone wants to be at the top of their game. So, sige lang. So that is how he got his scholarship. Unfortunately, pag dula na, pag training rather, wala siya ka-feel kahit napiang siya. Okay. Moto, let's go back to my friends and classmates po na natagaan ng scholarship sa NU, sa Manila ni siya, sa FEU, may ana. So, grabe gid ang opportunities labi sa sports, no? We can also develop emotional traits and personality. Of course, while we are playing, apart from that is naagi mga training. So in training, you will really feel hell because pag-push up pala naan, push up. Labi na sa mga training, daghan kayo mga activities sa training na hindi ko ganahan kay kakapurag training. Sige, push up. Sige, pero things na I don't like doing with okay, of course, high school po ako that time and I don't like doing physical activities. Pero I need to do it because, of course, dili mo ko kasulod sa team if dili ko mo buhat sa mga training. So that is then the time na ma-build up na po ako ang emotional traits of ako ang personality. So I became more disciplined and more, you know, competitive when it comes to sports. And it also helped me develop mental and physical skills. Of course, makatagal niya siya sa inyong physical skills labi na if makadungdong mo sa inyong PE1 while doing physical activities. Of course, ma-enhance po ang inyong physical fitness. Yan ang inyong flexibility, ang inyong power, and endurance, and all the likes. It will also help you encourage goal setting. Of course, the moment you step on the court, yung goal is to win this thing, to win this competition. And health and fitness benefits, so mga to, kung ano siyang libali, and it improves academic performance. So I don't know about this one because back when I was, again, college, maglisod mi og balance sa mga academics and kanang sports because mag-require mo gud siya sa mo, of course, mag-training ni kada gabi ni, of course, mag-training ni until night, and it will require a lot of rest and a lot of sleep. So malate ko, kung dili ko maka-study, so mo na siya. Pero it really depends to you if you are that disciplined. Diba? So it will also improve your body physique. Okay? So sa training mo, push up mo, dili mo dako, dili mo matone yung body, diba? Also, we have pleasure. Pleasure in winning. So when you win, grabe ang pleasure na mahatag sa inyo, grabe ang delight na inyong ma-feel when you are going to win. For professional growth, while you are growing at the same time doing sports and training, magkaanam-anam po mo o kanang ka-professional in your own way. And you will also get profit because naamtay mga liga, sa ginatawag na liga o no. When you're going to join liga, kadawat mo na oferta. When you step up, kanang about sa time na mo na gina inyong work, like sports is your work, of course, mag-kwarta gid. And lastly, for socialization. For socialization, of course, while you are going to play with your teammates, makita mo other teams, and then you will gain a lot of friends. So those are the benefits of playing sports. Daghan pa kayo tao benefits of sports, just like benefits sa exercise, no? Pero ato lang yung una-unaon, it really depends how you manage your life. Okay, di man ingon nga mag-sports ka pero na-access scholarships, di ba? Dili man siya ana. Magdepende gid siya if it's really for you, it's for you. Dili. Ana lang. Magdepende ang benefits kung kinsa ang tao. Okay, so if you have questions, I will be glad to answer every all of your questions. I will answer all your questions, may it be in the quad or in the comment section. So again, please don't hesitate to ask questions. And this is the end of lesson 1.